Do you dread the holidays and other gatherings because you are in a toxic relationship? Domestic abuse in a Christian marriage. If this sounds like an oxymoron, it should. If you are in an abusive marriage, you either know this to be the case or you aren't quite sure because you've been conditioned to think it's okay. Conditioning can happen through manipulation, control, gaslighting, and so on. When you are in an environment like this day after day, you get used to the toxicity of it, and even might feel uneasy without it. This is because, in a strange way, it creates a false sense of security. When things are normal, you feel you are constantly on heightened alert, waiting for the toxicity to flare. It's something you have gotten so used to living that in a weird way, it gives you a sense of security. Abuse is traumatizing in any relationship, but when your spouse is a professed Christian, yet in their actions are anything but, it can cause so much confusion, especially when they vowed to love, honor, and protect you. An abuser doesn't abuse only by physical violence. Abuse can take many forms. If you aren't quite sure if the way your spouse treats you truly is abuse, here's a list that gives some ideas of what domestic abuse may look like. Hovering over you and critiquing everything you do. Unobtainable expectations, even if you try to do what it is they're asking and spend all of your time and energy doing so, it's never good enough. Verbally putting you down. Acting as if you are below them. Treating you as if you have no value or dignity. Making you cry and then putting you down for crying. Constantly comparing themselves to you. Causing so much confusion in the relationship that your brain is consumed with trying to figure them out and seeing things through their perspective. They may say something and then retract the statement or totally deny ever saying it. They may display erratic mood swings, which constantly leaves you on edge. Convincing you that it's safe to tell them what's wrong, with a promise of not turning it around on you. Yet, when you open up to them, that's exactly what they do. Calling you holier than thou if you correct them or try to contribute to the spiritual growth within your relationship. Bringing up your past in an attempt to explain away the reason you are feeling unsettled about their behavior. Making you feel guilty for needing rest or time away. Constantly trying to make you feel like you are crazy or maybe even delusional. Trying to convince you that friends and family think lowly of you in an effort to isolate you from them. Showing a completely different side of themselves in front of others, and then behind closed doors, the abuse starts all over again. Using scripture to manipulate or shame you. Using money to control you or deprive you of your needs. You may constantly walk on eggshells around them, and you may constantly feel anxious around them, and when not around them, feel anxious upon their return. You beat yourself up thinking, what's wrong with me? You ask yourself, why am I not good enough? Am I the problem? How can I change? Why didn't I respond to the red flags? Why wasn't I strong enough? And upon the thought of leaving, you torture yourself with thoughts like, if I leave, I will tear the family apart. How could I do that to the kids? But on the other hand, what have I done to them by staying? Between the constant abuse from your spouse and the way you beat yourself up with these repetitive questions, you lose confidence, you lose your self-esteem, you feel hopeless, defeated. You dread holidays, birthdays, and other events you share with your family and friends, together with your spouse, because you feel like a fraud, especially to those who have looked up to your marriage as a holy one, and you know how disappointed they would be to learn the truth. You feel trapped in a prison in your own home, with no one but yourself and perhaps your children who understand. You feel like you are in an endless, repetitive loop of instability and dysfunction, similar to a Twilight Zone episode. A long, long episode. You want help, but you don't feel safe or confident enough to reach out. Can you relate to any or all of this? If so, I first want to tell you that there is hope. There is a way out, but there are steps and precautions you must take. This is part 1 of this podcast, so be sure to listen to part 2. You no longer have to feel helpless. Your breakthrough is coming. Stay strong, my friend, a little longer. You can do tough things. You are still here. You are still standing. And the Lord didn't bring you this far just to abandon you. So put your trust in Him. Continue to pray and know that I too am praying for you. God bless you and stay tuned for part 2. Give this video a thumbs up if it spoke to you. Subscribe to my channel to receive more content on how to walk in your true identity. And hit that bell button to be notified of newly released content.